Hey, greetings, Soul Tribe. This is Spirit with Harmonious Living Mindset. Welcome to my channel. We're going to find tools for a more harmonious mind, body, and spirit. Today is a channeled message, and it starts with, don't judge a book by its cover. We've heard that saying many times. But I guess it started with, and this is very sensitive, I guess, to share. But recently I had a person say, well, it's easy for you. And that person, is going through some challenges and things. And first of all, how do you know? You don't even know me. You don't know what I've been through. So how can you say it's easy for me? You don't know all the times I've sat with the divine and cried and worked things out and have meditated, and in this lifetime, how many things I've had to transform from negative to positive. You don't know anything about me. So you can't just say something like that to somebody. It's not easy for me. It's just I've done it a million times because I've had to have still a kind heart, to still have a sense of humanistic part to me, to have empathy for myself and kindness for myself and kindness for other people. So no, it hasn't been easy. You don't even know what I've gone through. You don't know how many times I've had to transform things. So before you say something like to somebody, when I woke up to the fact that I had people who were smiling in my face, acting like they were my friends and people who loved and cared for me, and they didn't give a shit about me. They only cared about themselves and what they could get from me. Last year I really learned that there was a handful of people who really have major compassion and empathy around me. And I cherish these relationships and these friendships, and I have built up relationships and friendships with those people. And so they know me, they know my heart, they know my mind, they know what I have gone through. So before you say something to somebody, well, it's easy for you, and you don't even know them, it's not something that, I think that there's parts of humanity that have forgotten, well, obviously, that the truth of life is love, right? Because we're waking up to that remembrance and that we are love and that we are divine. So I get that, and we all have the wound of leaving the womb. I understand that. Yet before you go thinking that another person has it all that great and that awesome and things like that, get to know the person, or maybe ask them, because you don't know. Especially if you haven't asked that person how they are, or you haven't even talked to them. You don't even know, because you're too busy thinking only of your own stuff. So humanity has been lacking empathy for a really long time. And if you're an empath, you know this, because you have had empathy and feel things very deeply. So this is more of a message, is like, don't judge a book by its cover. You don't know what a person's been through. You have no idea. And so I have a big tool bag, because I've had so many experiences in my life where I've had to transform energy. I've had to transform it so many times that, you become a master of it at certain points because you've done it so many times. And does it get easier every time? Not really, not when you're going through the transformative process. So I guess, it is the practice of us going within and loving ourselves more and more. And I mean, we're at this stage in life where, we have now artificial intelligence, and I'm always just curious, like, what intrigues me is, like, who's going to build empathy into the AI when people can't even be empathetic with themselves? Oh, here comes. If people can't be empathetic with themselves or kind to themselves, how are we going to build that into AI? And that's the part that is, that humanistic part, we need to teach ourselves that, or to have kindness to ourselves, and then to be able to teach our kids that, because our kids don't know that. I mean, some of you are teaching that to your kids, and that's so beautiful, and that's so awesome. Thank you for doing that, for teaching your kids how to love themselves and to love other people and to be kind and compassionate. We need more of that, especially in this, as we're remembering, we need more people teaching, how to, those communication skills of how to love ourselves, and that needs to be built in more into our society of that, and then to be able to be empathetic without being manipulated in wasteful or destructive ways, and people seeing, oh, that person, their heart is on their sleeve, I'm going to take advantage of them. No, that's not going to work anymore. No, we're done with that. Right, empaths, psychic seers, that journey, right? We're done with that. We're done with that manipulation, because now we have been on a self-love journey in progress. And when we love ourselves, the vibrations that we match in our relationships with other people are going to be authentic, real, because we thought we were in authentic and real relationships, yet we were in karmic relationships. We were in relationships that needed to be to learn those lessons of what is not authentic in ourselves and with those relationships. And so as you keep journeying, and as I keep journeying, I am, wanting to be more authentic with myself and wanting to surround myself with authentic, loving, kind, trustworthy, and, people who are wanting to connect their heart and their mind with the divine, and connect with that loving part of themselves to be able to, have those healthy relationships with other people who help them, step into their creativity and their, to create the 5D creative process, this fifth dimensional process of creating more love, more joy, more peace, and abundance for all, not just for a few, for all. So I am praying that for all of you that are journeying, because I feel it, for all of you that are in that transformational process or awakening to the remembrance of you and how beautiful and loving and kind you are as you're aligning your hearts and your minds with the divine. Just know that the angels are wrapping their wings around you, that your ancestors are so proud of the work that you've been doing, that the star ancestors are here to support all of us in this awakening process to the remembrance that it's all love, right? And helping us to shift into those higher dimensional realms where we know we're loved and we're supported by spirit, by the divine, by God, by universe, whatever you choose to call that bigger pool of unconditional love. And know that you are supported by the masters and ascended masters, whether you honor Buddha or Yeshua or Krishna or Muhammad. I mean, there's just so many messengers of love. Pick one that inspires you, and follow their teachings of love and kindness. And you are loved and supported by your ancestors. I said that, in your soul tribe on the other side, those loved ones that you have had relationships with in this lifetime. And you are loved and supported by the mystical realm. And for those of you who know, and just really sit in that embrace, okay? I am sending you lots of love and light and wishes of just happy transformations. Go through it. We keep going through it, and we keep opening ourselves up to more authenticity when we do that, when we embrace all of those things that come up that are our shadow parts, and we just move through it, okay? Okay. Ciao for now. Blessings, okay?